All right, you're watching Mental Health Moments. I'm Larry Jones,
And I'm Amy Horne.
and today we're going to be talking about co-parenting. Right?
Yes,
So,
Larry, it's really difficult to co parent, but we want to discuss not just co parenting as a married couple
right,
or two singles that have a child, but also divorced couples and how that affects children.
right. Now, I want to jump right in with a question. What's the
Go
most
ahead.
important? Yeah, what's the most important factor in making co-parenting successful after divorce?
Number one, there's still a hierarchy. There's still two parents and the children, and the two parents have to be a team.
Right.
You can't fight each other in front of the kids. You can't badmouth each other in front of the kids. Um, a joined front. You want your children to feel loved, and the way you treat your ex is how your children feel. And so that's so important because they need to understand they are loved. Because if you hear from your parent, you're just like your dad, you're just like your mom,
Yeah.
and they know you don't like your dad or your mom, that child feels suddenly as if they're not loved. Well, I know how you feel about my daddy, so you must hate me too.
Yeah.
These children don't know how to externalize the way you feel about each other. So that's the biggest thing is just respecting each other. You don't have to be nice, polite, friendly. You don't even have to like each other. You got to respect and speak kindly because that's what you're showing your children you expect from them.
Right. Right. Now, here's one. You have some parents, right, who basically use the child as a carrot dangling in front of the other, one's face and
Yeah.
putting stipulations on certain situations. Well, you
Yeah.
can't come and you don't, he or she cannot come over there today, or whatever the case is. They use that child as a pawn. What do you say to that?
Well, most people forget you're mad at each other, but your children still need the other parent. I don't care how irritated my ex husband made me, my child needed both of us. And if you remember that you're hurting your child, not your spouse, right? You're actually hurting the child. The child needs that other parent. Now, there are examples where there may be a dangerous parent.
Hmm.
There may be a situation where, you do have to protect your child. But most of the time, your ex can hate your guts and absolutely still love this child the way they're supposed to be loved. So, unless they're doing something dangerous, you should never keep your children from the other parent. It's just
Right.
wrong.
Yeah, it's very wrong. Now, how should parents handle conflicts or disagreements, during co-parenting? How should they handle that?
Well, a few things that worked for me is if my son came to me with something about his dad that upset him, I would say, okay, this is something you need to talk to your dad about because this isn't my business. I can help you with the conversation and let you talk to him, or I can talk to you about how to talk to him about it. And nine times out of 10, younger children will say, Mommy, I need you to help me, or Daddy, I need you to help me. And so I would shoot a text and give a heads up. Hey, Cole wants to talk to you about something. It's really important that you respond well. Can we FaceTime with you? He wants to talk to you.
Right.
And usually he would respond with, yeah, can you give me a heads up what it is? And I'm like, I'd rather him talk to you about it because it's not my business and I don't want to be in it. And so they would FaceTime and I would either sit in the room and I'd say, hey, I'm in the room. He wanted me here, but I'm not in this.
Right.
Or I'd say, hey, he's on with you. I'm leaving now. This is for y'all. It just supports the other parent and the child relationship. Your child will love you for doing that.
Right. Right. Now, okay, I have another question.
Mhm.
In a case where the child goes to one parent's house for the weekend, or spends a week over there, should they have different rules and regulations on the other side?
Honestly, if the the two parents can be on the same page with basic things, the time they wake up, the time they go to bed, the way they eat, the discipline. If I disciplined Cole here, his dad followed up there. So if he was on restriction, let's say for a week, no TV because I caught him watching something that wasn't age appropriate,
Right.
then I would let his dad know, hey, he's on restriction from television until Sunday. I know you have him for the weekend. And he would say, oh, okay. So why is he on restriction? I would tell him, he'd say, oh, okay. So I'm going to add to that. So I would have him on restriction from television, and his dad would add an extra component. Well, since you did this, not only are you restricted from TV, you're also restricted from cell phone.
Right.
So
No,
we would always talk to each other and work it out together. Everything
right.
doesn't have to be exactly the same, but
Right. Right.
children need consistency to thrive.
Absolutely. Now, why can't things just be so simple and blended families just get along and vacation together and everybody can just be happy? I think that'll, it's
Emotions.
yeah. It just won't work. I mean, it'll be beautiful, but it
Yeah.
won't work.
It's hard though. I mean, your emotions get in the way sometimes, and you hear your children say things, and you want so bad to be like, no, that is not who you think that is. And it's hard to remember your children don't need to know what happened between the two of you. They just need to know that, even though we loved each other, it didn't work out.
Right.
We didn't get along. We're better off not together. They don't need nasty details because that really damages the children. And they only need to know, regardless of the way we don't like each other or we don't get along, we love you. And that's what matters to us. That's the best way to parent.
Right. Now, do you
And you got
think
to include the step parents. The
exactly,
hierarchy is all the parents.
exactly. Now, do you think the kids need to have therapy as well as the parents if needed?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Um, Children internalize everything and you don't realize how it's affecting them.
Yeah.
Things like feeling responsible for a sibling because maybe mom's crying a lot or mom's got so much on her. Suddenly, that older child feels guilt and wants to take care of the younger child. Or the child that has that extra caring heart wants to take care of the parent. And then they start parentifying and telling the parent what to do. Mommy, you need to rest. Mommy, you need. They take on extra responsibility, especially if they're living with the mom. They want to take care of the mom if they're boys. And the little girls like to divide and conquer daddy and mommy any chance they get. So if the two parents don't get along, the children know how to divide and conquer quickly. And if you're not talking to each other, they can play you against each other because they're manipulative little people.
Definitely.
They know how to get what they want and they go for it.
They definitely do, man. It's something. Children are something else. Now, what advice would you give parents who may be struggling with co-parenting and divorce?
I would say get a mediator or a therapist to work together through the emotions, not necessarily to talk about all the issues in their marriage that caused the divorce, but how can we get past how we feel about each other to do what's best for the kids?
Right, right. Well,
It's
once
not
again,
easy.
it's not easy. It's not easy, and we hope people watch this and get something out of it because we're
I
gonna
hope
be,
so because,
yeah,
for me, co parenting was really difficult to set aside feelings and hurt and emotion. And, you always have that introduction of the new person into
right,
your children's lives and how to handle that.
and that can be
Things of
pretty
that
difficult,
nature, you don't want to find out on Facebook that your ex is getting engaged.
right,
And,
right,
you prefer them to give you a heads up. Hey, just to let you know, I'm introducing the children to someone that's been significant in my life. I would like you to meet this person that's going to be in our children's lives. And that's about all you need. You don't need the background check and all that stuff on people. You can pretty much figure that out.
right,
There's a lot of emotions about this person taking your place, and that's not what they're doing. It's another person to love your child.
right, right. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. We have a
There's
lot
a
more to
lot of
discuss.
support.
It
There's
is.
so much support from a step parent, and I always call them bonus parents. My husband is a bonus parent. Um, the other ex-wife was a bonus mom, and that's the way we treated each other, with a lot of respect, because we loved the children, and that's what mattered. 4 people to love my kids. Who could ask for more?
Right. There you go. Well, I want to leave on this note. Just a reminder to put your kids first. Put your kids first. That's all I have to say for that one. You have any last words?
No, that's it. If you need me, Coping with Life Therapy PLLC is happy to help with divorce and co-parenting and any kind of struggles in the family.
All right. I'm Larry Jones.
And I'm Amy Horne. Y'all
And
go be awesome.
be awesome.